have more room in here for puppies to move around. Okay, mic's on. Where's it? I'll give it to you. All right. Hello, everybody. Make sure you guys can hear me. Oh, let me turn this down. Happy Monday. It's been an eventful day here. Be happy to answer any questions for you. Right, Rocco? Hi. Alright. You think I have cookies in there? I do. Can you wait? Wait. It's good. It's good. Hello. Hi, Terry. Hi, Peg. Is any word on whether the donkey is pregnant? I have no idea. I'm sorry. I really don't know. If I know, I'll tell you. Who is the reluctant pup you had to carry to the car? It was a mantle. That would be Zeppelin. He just did not want to get in. But then once we got going, he was much better. Most of them I had to pick up today. But it was interesting because to get in the car on the farm, I had to pick them up to get them in. When we went out, they were all jumping out of the car and getting back in. So it's just a transition. It's just that fear of the unknown. But then as they get going, they're like, oh, this is fun, and are better about it. So probably by this time next week, I expect probably most of them to jump in willingly. How are you, Shannon? You looked very cold outside feeding the... That wasn't Shannon, that was me, Katie, feeding the dogs. It really wasn't as cold today, so that's why I chose to feed them outside. It's obviously a lot easier to feed them on Puppy Hill with the kennel gates right there than having everybody follow you through the feed room. So, and I think tomorrow is supposed to be pretty nice too, so it'll be nice to feed them outside. Marilyn from Florida asked, what is the best way to slow down a dog that eats too fast? It's interesting you bring that up. I just talked to one of our recipients today. They're having a similar issue. My dog Sarge is the same way, just a very fast eater. It doesn't matter if he's been a long time between feedings or close in feedings. A couple things I suggested to the recipient today who's having that issue. Like I did, I bought a special bowl for Sarge that kind of gives a cross shape into the bowl where it's a slow feeding bowl. So they're going to try that. Sometimes you might try adding a third meal, breaking the meals up into 3 instead of 2, just so they're not as voracious at mealtime. On Puppy Hill, when they're a little fast, sometimes I do push right at the top of their nose, I'll push their snout out of the bowl and just cover the bowl and ask them to wait, and then let them have a moment before I say okay for them to start again. Or I'll even, like today, I stuck my hand in one of their bowl in the center, and they have to kind of eat around my hand. It makes them slow down a little bit. Hi, Katie. Was the mystery of which black dog was scratching at the door at 6 a.m., was it Martha? I think it was Martha. I'm sure your day was busy. Tell us something sweet that happened today. Thank you. I don't really know if anything sweet happened. I had 8 minions / calories out today. All of them did fairly well. Pretty routine day. I don't think there was anything that really stood out today necessarily. Karen, what made today eventful? You'll find out. When you take the dogs to the stores for training, what do you work on them? So at the age that they're at now, which is roughly like 16, 17, 18 weeks, it's really just, let's just walk in a straight line. Let's keep our pace. Some are better at it than others. For instance, Amelia is really smart and really good. So like I've already started to introduce to her whoa and wait and left and right and come around. So we turn our bodies around because she's really got the pace down pretty well. And then we have others who you put the leash on, they get out, they seem eager, and then there's a lot of like jolting forward, and then you catch up to them and have them tell them easier to walk with you, and then they freeze, and then it's another jolt forward. So on those, we're just trying to practice pace. So it really varies depending on the dog and where they're at. But we'll work on those kinds of pace things for a while before we'll start to introduce things like a downstay, stairs. I haven't really done stairs too much yet. It's really, to me, a pace thing, and just having them focus on you because there's obviously so many new distractions in public. Let's see here. Somebody asked me, if you have a queasy pup in the car, how can you help solve that problem? I really don't know, other than just short, frequent trips in the car. Yesterday when I took several out in my car, we had a lot of pukers in the car, and today I didn't have anybody throw up. So I personally think if you've got a dog that's car sick, if you can just even go down your block and come back, go a little further the next day and come back, that maybe that could help them kind of get over their motion sickness. Some people try treats in the car or a Kong to keep their attention or something on you, but it's hit or miss with the dogs. When you train in a public bathroom, are they in or out of the stall or both? Typically, I do go into a handicap bathroom if it's not being used, or if there's somebody around who's I don't think is needing it, then I'll use it. Because most times these people are going to go to dogs that are handicapped, and that gives you space to pull a dog in there. There are restrooms in certain places that I've gone where they're just really not handicapped accessible, and I have had to have the dog in a downstay outside of the door. It's not always fun, but I have to do it. But most times, most public places have handicap restrooms, and they just come in with you. Was Zeppelin the same one that you took a picture of going to Doc George's for a shot? I don't really know if I have his picture. There's so many I can't keep up with it. Somebody's asking how old are the pups before they go to a recipient. Typically we match dogs anywhere from a year to a year and a half old. That's kind of the range. We have had dogs go earlier than a year depending on how well they're doing. We have had dogs stay longer than a year and a half, but typically that range is pretty consistent. What were my main training tasks today? I'm kind of working with calories and minions. That's my group. Up until today, they each went out one at a time with me, just so I could get a good baseline of where they were. Today we started going 2 by 2, which means I can get more dogs done in one day, which is good. And they all did really well in the car. Nobody chewed anything up. It's really just short trips out, short trips back. Somebody's asking, are there other areas, buildings of trainings that we can't see on the cameras? Not really. On the property, we pretty much are training in the arena, in that barn alley. Because of the weather and the conditions that we have here, it's cold in both of those places and outside. So, and on top of that, the dogs are really at an age at which they really need to be going off property every day. So, until the spring, it probably will be limited on how much you are going to see here at the property on camera. Somebody's asked, have you ever had a dog get car sick?
Where is it?
Where?
On the floor. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. We found it. Thanks, Andy.
And you know how many times I've looked at that purse laying there today and I'm like, wasn't even registered.
I didn't lose your phone.
Where is Bailey? There she is. She's right here. You probably can't see her. There she is. Girl. She's right here. Somebody's asked me, when training a dog, is there a proper side for them to walk on, your left or right, and why is this? We have always, or the way we train here is always on the left. I'm not particularly sure why. Maybe somebody can ask Megan or Carlene that another night. Maybe because most of the population is right-handed. I don't know. I'm left-handed, so... but I still train on my left. And we have had recipients switch to their right if that's more comfortable for them, or if strength on their body is better on their right to hold on to the dog can certainly readjust. But we do train all on the left. Where did the other desk go? We moved Teresa's desk into the sunroom where the puppies give birth, kind of this way. I'm sorry about the buzz. I don't really know how to get rid of that. Let me check in if I missed anybody's questions. Excuse me. Riot. Okay, I think that's everybody. Somebody's asked me how to train brace.
What?
How do we train to brace?
A lot of stand and stay.
Yeah, wait. Stay.
Yeah. A lot of them are safety on.
Yeah. Does she want to come in for no call?
Well, that's it for questions, folks.
I'll just turn the mic off until.
Is that Tanner? Like Tanner?
Kenny? That's not his last name.
I think it is. I think that's Tanner. Like our Tanner. Tanner.
Really?
I think so.
Oh, is that like his middle name maybe?
I'm not sure. I put that in my phone.
Oh, really? Who is the whiner? I don't know. Or Riot just had a squeaky toy and like let off the pressure in the toy so it sounded like a whine. Maybe that's what it was. Excuse me. All right, just bear with me one moment. I'm going to pop the mic off just a second. On now.
Mic is on. Okay.
Yeah, they're all asking and
Explain what's happened. Very briefly, what's happened. Very briefly, what's happened and quickly, and I don't want everybody to get all upset, but I went down to take Bentley on a subway ride, and they had a handicapped elevator for people. So we went to get on the elevator. The door opened. Bentley jumped in, as he would, and he immediately screamed and fell, and I went in immediately to get at him, and I realized he's getting shocked with the electricity because I got shocked with electricity, and he was snapping at everything within reach, and he got a hold of my elbow, my wrist, and I basically pulled him out of the elevator on his side while he was hanging onto my wrist. And when he got him out, he still was snapping a little bit. I got it in the other wrist and my knee. And then he realized he was okay, and then he stood up and he was fine. But right at the moment, what's happening is he's, with the electricity deal, the question is he got pulmonary edema, and this is why we are now going to take him down to George's for an x-ray. I ended up getting carried to the hospital in the ambulance. I had chaos in my car, so one of the extra ambulance drivers drove my car, and I was afraid to have him get in the car with chaos all by herself, so I had him take Bentley with him, although they could have taken Bentley in the ambulance with me, but I was afraid of the chaos deal. So I sent the two of them, and then when we got to the hospital, they brought both of them in the hospital for me to lay down next to my bed in the emergency room, and I was there for a good 2 or 3 hours, and now I'm home. But now we've got to take Bentley down to get a chest x-ray on him and to see whether he's got anything going on that we ought to know about. And that's what's happening. And I don't know as I can even type the Daily Talkie tomorrow.
I think they'll all understand.
Yeah. My right arm is kind of in tough shape.